What up, the Sippin Truth? Let's go, we at Coachella, baby! Fucking A, bro, yeah.
Well.
What an introduction.
Thank you so much.
Marco, thank you for your introduction. We appreciate it.
Marco, you're the man. You're the man with the sunglasses plan. I'm Canaan.
And I'm Ana.
And I think we're recording, right?
We are. We're recording. We're back from... I mean, where do we even begin? Like, how did we get to where we're at today? First of all, this guy still thinks he's in the desert. Look at this.
I'm still there. It's a part. The chain and everything, man. I mean, we'll definitely get into it.
We have so much to cover.
Ana, how did I get a part of this? How did I get tagged along in this?
Well, let's see. For the most part, I think for the past 6 or 7 years, I've always gone. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't sure if I had an extra ticket or not. And it was coming up. We started doing this pod. And I'm just like, I think maybe had mentioned that you've never been to a festival. But I'm like, listen, if I have an extra ticket and if you're down to come, like, I think it would be a great way for us to maybe set up a pod or do a podcast about this. Yeah. And we're just like, probably not even thinking like it would happen. You're like, well, yeah, if you have an extra ticket, let me know and we'll see. Yeah. And it got closer and closer. And you're like, well, I haven't really heard. Do you have an extra ticket? Listen, as all this was going on, I was getting ready for a move. Canaan was moving. Yeah. I was stressed out already. It was back and forth on, am I going to go? Am I not going to go? Do I have this ticket? Do I not have this ticket? Literally the week before Coachella, I was like, Canaan, I have this ticket. What are we doing? Are we doing this or not?
Yeah. And I, like, when it first brought it, I was like, oh, yeah. Like, sure. Like, you know, not thinking it would actually happen because Ana was not sure if she had actually gotten 2 tickets or 1. She didn't remember. And, well, at least you didn't remember.
Right. And I was like, well, when I get my box, I'll figure out what's going on and whatnot.
Yeah.
So finally the box came in and I saw everything that I had. I was like, well, here's the ticket. And what did you even think Coachella was?
Well, I knew nothing. I thought that it was because I knew about Burning Man, and I remember telling you about that. I thought it was like that, where you just go out and camp in this huge like desert, but like, you know, desert, where it's like all this open,
right? Oh yeah,
vast desert around you, and then there's like music performers and stuff. It wasn't until actually being there that I found out about what it was, because I kind of wanted it to be a surprise. I think like there's parts of me that, you know, like while I was there, I was like looking up information about previous Coachellas, but I really wanted to just be surprised by it all and take it all in as, you know, experiences came to me. I was just open to all of it.
And finally we're like, okay, I guess I'm gonna figure it out, we're gonna do this. And I said, okay. And luckily, like, I have a really good group of friends that coordinate everything. So I was so stress-free when it came to not having to worry about a tent, which we'll get into.
You were stressed for me?
I was stressed for myself. Like,
okay.
Because usually you have to get all these camping supplies. And my friends, shout out Leo, shout out Amy, shout out Matt, everybody who was in this trip with us. Yeah. Like, basically took care of everything for us. We put you in the group chat. I was just like, do you want to be a part of it? Just so you kind of have an idea of what's going on. Because they're, like, getting food, snacks, making sure we have all the right,
works. And it was hard because I was at work and I would just, like, see hundreds of messages in this chat. And I'm like, I don't know what I should contribute or like when. You know what? I'll let them take care of food. Like I'll give my 2 cents about like burgers or like, you know, because I think Leo at one point asked me like, hey, well, like, do you eat something about vegetables? I said I don't eat the vegetables that much, but that group chat was like awesome. Like even leading up to it, people were like, oh, we're gonna get that Coachella merch like as soon as it drops online, and I'm like, what is Coachella merch? Why is that?
And we'll get into that.
What is Coachella merch? Why are you like waiting online when like you could just get it there? I didn't know that whole thing. So the group chat was popping off.
So I mean, we figured it out. We said, okay, cool. We figured out our work schedules. We figured out we're gonna make this happen. And then it was just the day finally came. We're just like scrambling to get like last minute things. I was like, all right, Canaan, well. And like not, I guess really, and I feel a little bad because I guess I didn't really set you up for success to be out in the desert. But then again, you also had mentioned like you didn't really ask very many questions on like what do I need to bring, like what should I have, etc.
Yeah.
I guess I just assumed when I said camping, you would know.
I would know
camping essentials.
Right. Yeah.
Either way, I was like, Canaan, all right. It was Wednesday going into Thursday. I'm like, okay, Canaan, we got to meet everybody at like, I think we said 5 a.m. at this Walmart down in Indio,
100%.
Coachella Valley. Be at my house at 2 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And I think everyone was excited. I don't know if anybody even slept.
Oh, no,
like,
I did not sleep. I tried sleeping, but nothing happened. And I was just, I had my outfits picked out, like, and I tried to pack light, and I really did, but a little bit too light. We'll see. We'll get it out of it. So that night, one of our friends, Angelina, she was like, oh, you can use my tent. And I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, it's a 2 to 3 person tent. And before, like, when Ana was telling me, I misinterpreted what she meant by like how much space that we would actually have in our like section. Yeah. Because I thought that we would have 10 by 10 for each of us, which we'll get into later. But but that plan fell through for the tent. So I was like, all right, well, I gotta go to Target, get my own tent. And so, I had everything packed up, got my shoes, which didn't fit exactly because I bought new Adidas shoes to wear. When I wore them for like 10 minutes, they were narrow and my feet are wide. So I only had one pair of shoes with me, which guess what? We'll get into later as well. A lot of this we'll get into later. And I just, packed up the stuff that I did. I met Ana at like 2:45 in the morning ish, and I had more stuff than Ana, I think, because I had a foldable mattress. I didn't opt for an air mattress. I opted for a trifold mattress that, and I had like 4 pillows.
I'm like, okay, dude, whatever you need. I literally packed my suitcase with the essentials that I thought. I packed my like shower caddy. Yeah. I had my air mattress and then basically 1 pillow and then a big blanket for at night. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to buy a sweater and I'll be good.
I think for me, the most important thing, like when doing anything like sleep-wise, especially if you're camping, is you got to make sure sleep is the most important part. It sets you up for success for the next day. I need good neck support. I need to make sure that I'm like adequately sleeping. Yeah. And 1 pillow, like even I can't sleep on the floor because it's just like flat and like I get sinus issues and stuff. But yeah, so we got in the car.
We packed it and basically drove down, met everybody in Indio.
We talked the whole time. It was great.
Yeah, I think just you were just excited and asking a bunch of questions. I really don't recall the conversation too much, and all I do
me neither.
All I remember is just like, because you're like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, listen, first he can't drive stick. He can't drive a manual shift car, which is tisk tisk tisk.
I'll work on it. I was checking out courses, and they're like $300, so I'm gonna try.
You can give me $300, and we'll figure it out. But I was like, listen, you can't fall asleep because I am extremely tired as well. Yeah. So if I'm driving the whole way back and forth, you have to stay up the whole entire time. So it's like, okay.
That was fair. I understood.
We made it. He got introduced to the Tulum people.
We met in a Walmart park. Well, it wasn't Walmart. What was it?
A Winco shopping center.
Winco, yeah.
So we can get some last minute snacks. Everybody met there so that we can get all our. Essentially, they have this thing, like, again, we've been there so many times. We have this planned out to a T. So essentially, they want to make sure that everybody's there so we can all go into the park or into the campsite information with like flyers on the car that says basically keep this group together. Right. Leo hooks it up with walkie-talkies so that if anybody gets stuck in traffic, we can make sure that we slow down, pull over to the side. Again, this is all synchronized.
It was like Fast and the Furious. For those who've watched Fast and Furious, it was very Fast and Furious level like planning of just like the walkies. Which I was like told Ana later. I was like, I was most impressed by like just the walkies and like how the structure was like, oh, we're gonna turn right on 42nd and whatever it was. And I was like, oh my god. And I was trying not to talk as much on the walkie, but it was just fun to give my 2 cents every once in a while.
Yeah. People were playing songs on the walkie. I mean, everyone's excited. We're getting closer and closer to the site. Yeah. And then finally we pulled in, and then it was just a matter of getting everybody together and in line, like through security and whatnot.
Yeah, and honestly, it was a breeze.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, there was a little snafu with Amy, with her car.
Oh yeah.
Because she didn't have a car tag. Apparently, it wasn't in her box.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, Ana, because I didn't bring my car, we had an extra one,
yeah.
which is great. And so we gave that to Amy. But then, that line, which I heard stories while we were in line of like how long it can be.
Yeah.
Of like long the lines can take hours just to get into the campsite. But yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
It was like what, maybe an hour? Not even?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the sun was coming up like very slowly. So I mean, it was still chilly when we were there. So like, I think I had my sweater and whatnot on.
Yeah.
I mean, we finally got all the way through, and then it was just a matter of them being able to find out our parking situation and like, okay, where are we all going to be able to park? And then. And
we filmed the Coachella ad that we put on Instagram, on the Sippin Truth Instagram.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We filmed that
entering
when we were like moving forward inch by inch. We would park and then we'd be like, all right, we'll get the pillows set up.
Oh my gosh.
Very
but it was
fun.
crazy. Even like the security people, because I mean, as soon as you cross into private property, it's free game, so you can start drinking, and that's literally what everybody was doing.
Oh my god! Yeah, people were leaving to go to Leo's van to get beers.
Yeah,
and
like, where's the alcohol? We can start drinking now, guys. It's like, keep in mind, it's 6 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, it's about to go down.
Someone was like 2 shots in. Someone was like on the walk and be like, "Yo, I'm 2 shots in." And we're like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
Whatchamacallit? But yeah, so like it was just, even I think the security was just like, well, if you want to, you could drink. I mean, you're on private property now. Yeah. I'm like, well, let me get to where I need to be first. Like, I'm still driving. I'm in here. Like, I don't want to be inebriated. Yeah. If I wasn't driving, then I would definitely be throwing some back. But
I'm sorry.
I'm going to chill.
It's my fault.
No. But no, we ended up getting everything together. And then it was a matter of like, I was like, all right, Canaan, well, we got to start setting everything up. The canopies, the tents. You're like, what?
Oh, well, I mean, like I've set up tents before, not canopies, but oh my god, am I grateful that we got that canopy, because before, like in the group chat, it was like, oh, you might want to get a canopy, and you were like, oh, we should get one. I was like, okay, well, I guess. I don't know what it's gonna do. Like, isn't a tent enough? Definitely not. No. If you're going to Coachella, get a canopy. You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
That's like rule number 1.
Yeah.
Well, out of all the lists, that's a rule on there. But yeah, we got up, we started setting up the camp, and then Leo hands us some extra tents. Well, where was your tent?
I didn't. Well, so essentially, I asked Leo separately. I'm like, hey, do I need anything? Do you have an extra tent? Do you have an extra canopy? Do you have extra chairs?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I think we have all that extra stuff. Because I was like, I'm going to go to Target the day before. If I need to get anything, let me know. I'll just get it so I have it for the trip.
Yeah.
He's like, no, we got it covered. Don't worry about it. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm not going to worry about that. Perfect. So otherwise, I probably would have had more stuff in the car. But I knew it was all going to get taken care of.
Yeah.
So Leo essentially throws us 2 tents. He's like, here, guys, put them together.
Yep.
So we put, I think, this camel one up first, and I'm like, oh man, and we'll have to put a picture of this up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I only have the video, I think, but someone has a picture somewhere.
I was like, this is awfully small. I was just like, and nothing was in it yet. It was just a small little tent.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you'll be fine. Put your air mattress in it. You'll be fine. I'm
yeah.
like,
Leo was like, yeah, it'll expand perfectly. Like the mattress will expand and it will fit right in the tent.
I was like, okay, sure. I'm like, well, that's done. Let's worry about Canaan's tent. So Canaan brought a tent, but again, he didn't know that we have 1 10 by 10 area per car,
right?
Not per person, per car.
Per car, yeah.
So
if I would have driven, then I would have had my own.
Yeah, you would have had your own space for everything.
Perfectly fine.
So his tent was like a 7-person tent that also reached 7 feet high. That was like above the canopy. I'm like, where the fuck do you think?
Where are you gonna put
for
this?
You have a 7-person tent? Like, I'm like, okay, we're not gonna do that. So that's why we used the 2 other tents. So
it was a great deal on Target. That's all I'm gonna say. They made it too convincing that it's what a person would need.
I'm like,
and I looked at the dimensions and I was like, oh, well, this will fit in a tent because it's 9 feet by 10, so it's like it'll fit perfectly.
This thing was going was pressed up against the canopy.
Yeah,
It was pushing it.
I was like, it's nice and snug.
But anyways, so we set up the orange tent. The orange tent was perfect. Canaan was able to put all his stuff in. He was able to put his little mattress he had and all his stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, let me blow up my air mattress to make sure I'll be good in this tent. we blow this air mattress up, and I'm like, the air mattress is bigger than the tent.
It could, that tent could fit like a fourth grader. That's it.
And everybody's now coming to make sure everyone's set up okay. Like everyone's
Sure.
making rounds to make sure everyone has their stuff set up.
Yep.
And they're laughing at my tent, and they're like, "Oh my God, is that a dog bed?"
It was so small. Like Ana at one point, like
Yes.
climbed in there just as, and her like shoes were just
My feet were out,
just dangling out.
and Leo was like, "Oh, look, we can tickle her feet." I was like,
Exactly.
"No, I don't want to see it." So I was upset. I'm like, "There's no way I'm gonna be. I can't sleep in this."
I was laughing. Yeah, I and when I filmed it, I was also laughing. It was just so absurd.
Luckily, one of our friends, Polo, his wife was coming later, and they're like, "Don't worry, we'll have Marisol bring you another tent. You don't have to." Because I think at one point they're like, "Stop, you'll be fine." And I think I turned to look to Leo. I'm like, "Do I really have to sleep in this?"
Don't make me do it.
He's like, "No, they're gonna bring whatever." So,
And just to clarify, I did offer to Ana the tent that I was staying in because I felt bad. I was like, "There's no way that I'm gonna make you have to sleep in this tiny tent."
but I was like, "Keaton, there's no way you can sleep in this tiny tent."
I would try to make it work. I would.
No way.
I couldn't reach my arms up or anything. Not
So
that I need
I
to.
was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm not gonna worry about it. Also, now the sun is freaking coming up at
my
like full
God.
blast.
Oh.
I'm like, at least the canopies are up. Everyone's starting to just like sit and relax.
Yeah.
And Caden's like, "Ooh, it's hot." And then everyone's like, "Yeah, today's gonna be the highest. It's gonna be 96 degrees out there." Caden's like, "I did not bring the right clothes for this trip."
Oh my God. No, I did not. Well, I mean, for the most part, I tried to, but I was not prepared.
Yeah.
At all. We'll get into other
He
things
was
and stuff
sitting
like-
there. You were in the chair. Your face was red. He had a little portable fan that was probably smart. And he's just like, "Oh wow, it's hot out here."
Yeah. Oh my God. Even with the canopy on and
It's like just that dry heat coming in.
God. Yeah. And it's like anytime a breeze came in, like we were all
like,
just like, yeah.
Yeah.
At some point, Ana did fall asleep because
I fell asleep in the chair, like
in the
basically.
chair. Like as soon as I saw, like as soon as that breeze started, it blowed for like maybe a minute or two. Like Ana, I could just see her, like she was like leaning back, and I turn around and she's starting to go. And I tried taking a nap in
the
my
tent,
tent,
yeah.
and I would because they were doing like I don't know what they were doing at that one stage, but they were like
Oh, the sound checks and
yeah,
stuff, right?
they were doing sound checks, and I'm a light sleeper, so it was just like, and I'm like sweating. I wake up and I'm like just covered in sweat. Hey, all those people are trying to lose weight. Just go to Coachella on 90-degree weather and just try to sleep in a tent. You'll get that weight right off.
Yeah, it was brutal. The first day was a little rough, and I
was
felt
pretty
like the day was going by pretty slow.
Oh yeah, and then of course the wristbands. So Ana,
gosh.
we're in line to get into the festival, and Ana's I've never worn festival wristbands before ever, and Ana signals to me. She's like, "Hey, help me put my wristband on because I'm driving." I'm like, "Okay, I got you." So I'm trying to fit it on, and there's like a fold in the fabric, so I'm trying to like get it around the fold, and Ana's like, "Don't put it on too tight," and I was like, "Oh, okay," and like just like I hear you, I'll try my best, and I'm trying to like get it around this little piece of fabric, and the slider like it goes, and then whoops, and then so it was really tight, and then I put mine on, and it was like kind of tight, and I looked at her and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," like not thinking about it. She's like, "Dude, it's stuck like this forever." And internally I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, they don't loosen. I'm like, and then it's like, what the hell are you talking about? I just kept going to like these different degrees because I didn't know that like with festival wristbands, to prevent people from like sharing and letting more people come in, that the wristbands, they have like teeth in the little slider thing so that it doesn't come out. So it was pretty tight day zero.
Yes.
And for multiple days. Me as well. We were trying to get
I'm like,
help,
I'm probably
but-
going to lose my limb at the end of this trip because it's so tight. I'm losing circulation. And then he reads in the box, and the box in the instructions next to the bracelet that said, do not tighten these because they can't be untightened.
I read that when we were leaving, when we were on the way home, eventually, because I was like, they should have disclosed, and I'm like, oh, it does say it here. In the
Yeah, exactly.
instructions. So next year, I guess you owe me a tight wrist.
No, I would never do that to anybody. I'm never curt to suck.
Neither would I. Like, if I would have known, I would have been like, yo, I'm gonna wait until we're like in a better spot and I can be more careful. I tried to be careful, and then I was definitely not.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we managed to get through the day, and I let him know, and I'm like, well, hey, obviously where we parked, it was like one of the best areas. We were right next to the entrance.
Oh my God.
Like, they literally opened the doors for everybody to go in right there. We were right next to the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
We had the nice little flags up, so if we ever got lost coming back home at night, we knew exactly where we were at.
Which, how can you get lost? It's right there.
It's right there, yeah, exactly. But I said, hey, I'm like, well, as it gets close to the evening, it's going to cool down. There's a spot we can go to on the Coachella hill. We could potentially record something for the podcast, and then we can also see all the little shops and everything.
Yeah.
So finally, when it started cooling down, I'm like, all right, let's go finally explore.
They had like a general store. Mm-hmm. So if you've forgotten something like a tent or a canopy, the things that I could have.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to pay. I think the tents they had were like $65.
Yeah.
So yeah, and by that time, I think we finally realized, because that I wasn't going to get a tent sent to me. So
oh, yeah.
I was like, well, Canaan, I guess we're going to put yours up, and we'll just figure it out from there. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. We'll do it when we get back, when the sun's still up relatively.
Right.
So we can get it together, and then we'll go from there. So
Exactly. And so, yeah, we checked out those different, places. They had a salon, they had a tattoo station, and then they had like a pizza place. I heart spicy pie.
a bunch of different foods or whatever that people could get. We saw a Dunkin', so Dunkin' has sponsored us before, so we knew we had to stop by and say hi.
We had to say hi to our Dunkin' friends, and
Yeah.
they knew us immediately.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the Sippin Truth.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, free coffee all weekend. And we did get free coffee.
We really
all
did
weekend.
get free coffee all weekend.
Yeah.
Blueberry cobbler.
Blueberry cobbler iced coffee. It was so incredible.
I don't know if do they have it here though?
I don't know. I
Must be a
haven't.
specialty thing.
I've been to Dunkin' twice since being
okay.
back, and I didn't even think that to look.
Okay.
But it was like a beautiful, like just a hint of blueberry where you definitely know it's blueberry, but
Yeah.
it's like, it's coffee. We went to the hill where we watched the sunset, and everybody, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was just a few people on the hill, and then all of a sudden, as the sun was coming down over the mountain,
Yeah.
just that hill was packed. But it was cool because you get a real aerial shot of everything. So like Canaan got to see like the different camping areas they had, VIP camping areas, and then obviously you get to see into Coachella. So yeah, it was exciting.
And you get to see all the mountains surrounding you, and it was just gorgeous, and it was a great way to start off that that journey for the weekend. Was just a simple farewell to the sun. And hello to partying.
Yeah, it was just basically, I'm like, all right, day 0 is about to be done, and now we're about to get into the shenanigans of these next 3 days. And then I think we went back to camp after, we ate, we went back to camp.
Yeah.
And we put up that 7-person tent, and that thing just kept going higher and higher.
And we were like, I was scared about space because I was like, it's definitely going to be really close and tight, and I didn't want it to, because there was a whole system. Like Leo, wanted to have it be like a stretch, so that like, yes, we have our tents, but we can also like walk to each other's like tent areas and stuff. Well, whoever was beside us, those guys, which ones, but they had that huge tent that was bigger than ours.
Yeah.
But it was really like funny. But our tent, it was like higher than wider. And it like we put it up just fully, and then it touched
the canopy.
The canopy, which was great because we didn't tie down the tent, but the canopy held it in place. So it kind of worked as a wonderful blessing in disguise.
We split it up. We said, okay, Canaan, that's your side, that's my side. Canaan
Yep.
put a blanket as a divider.
Yeah, I put like a little, I don't know what. Yeah, like a blanket.
Yeah, or I guess a rug. There was a rug in our living room.
It was a blanket rug. Yeah. In the living room. In the
exactly.
Yeah, it was big enough as it was a living room. Yeah, but it fit my mattress like pretty comfortably, and your air mattress on the other side. There was still room in there, which is nice.
Yeah.
So that like we had our own space still.
Yeah, and I think that was it. I mean, we pretty much called it a night. I don't think we stayed up very late the first night. No.
No,
I think we all crashed out pretty early.
Yeah, we were out up until probably like 10 or something. I don't even remember. Time just did not happen for the rest of that day.
But I remembered, I was just like, okay, I know it's going to be an early day the next day.
Yeah.
And it sure was.
Sure as hell was. I mean, yeah. Well, we still had to get accustomed. Well, I had to get accustomed to like the bathroom locations, shower locations, things like that. I woke up at like 5:30 to go to the bathroom, and Matt was up. And so I was talking to Matt for a little bit because there were people at 5:30 in the morning outside the gate waiting to get in. And we're like, the gates don't even open till 1 o'clock, and it's not like a single file line or anything. Yeah. So these people were just like camping out at like 5:30. I went back to bed, woke up at whatever time that you did, more or less.
7. Yeah, because I think we relatively took a shower around the same time, 7:30, maybe 8.
Yeah. I felt a little nudge. Canaan.
Oh, yeah. I woke you up.
Yeah, you woke me up. Can I talk? So I, of course, want to make sure that, like I said, sleep is important. So I got sleep earplugs.
Talk about sleep. One, not only a passenger princess, but two, this bitch has like basically a cold ice pack on his eyes and earplugs.
It was it was a sleep mask.
I know, but I'm saying it was a cold. We had cucumbers. He had his pink curlers on.
Yeah. Like, I had those facial masks. I know. Those peach facial masks.
I'm like, Kaden, we're in the desert. What the fuck are you doing? I barely have that shit on.
Yeah. So I had like sleep earplugs in that have like a better, like, a lower decibel or higher decibel, whatever, so you don't hear as much. I had a sleep mask that I still wear to this day because it's hella nice. It blocks out a lot of sun.
Yes, and I said, hey, Kane, I'm going to go to the shower. Do you want to go? And you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah.
And the showers, okay. So day one, it's all a learning experience. I think we were all learning how the showers were that year because that year.
I've been there many a time. I know what the shower situation is.
Yeah. So, Ana, you were like, bring a bathing suit, and I was like, well, why would I need to?
Because I feel like I have done it before, but I could be wrong.
See?
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a couple of shower options at Coachella. There's, of course, there's a 24-hour shower area, which I still don't know where that was. But then there are super duper showers, which you spend $10 cash.
Not worth it.
For some reason, who has cash at a card only event? Make it make sense.
And then no ATMs anywhere around to get cash.
No ATMs. I walked to the general store and I was like, where's the ATM? They're like, sorry, card only. Anyway. But the super duper showers, they have like soap. Do they even have towels and
all
stuff?
Stuff that you have to then buy when you're inside. And guess what? It's tap to pay when you're inside to buy any of those things.
It's so dumb. Anyway, so the regular showers, which we had no problems getting taking throughout the whole weekend. There were different trailers, which I didn't know on day one. So I just walked into the first shower trailer that they had, which is like a long stretch of different like stalls basically, but the bottom was like open, so the water from one end would it was at an angle, so the water would travel all the way down to the front
I'm like, can you brought water chutes for this, right? You don't want to put your own feet in this. He's like, nope, didn't pack that. I was like, no.
I did not pack any shower
everyone else's
shoes.
Nastiness is like flowing in your shower.
Oh my god, yeah. Luckily I was near like the end, but still.
You're I'm the guy that has the stuff flowing down to the house.
I was wondering at one point what this yellow liquid was.
Ew.
No, just kidding. Kidding.
There has been time. Listen, people have peed in there. I've talked to people that people took a boo-boo in there. I mean, people are on stuff at these events. This shit happens.
Did you say boo-boo?
Yeah, people took a boo-boo.
People had wait, what did you say?
And then there's people's boo-boos just running on your feet.
Gross. just shitting right on my feet.
Basically.
So day one was not a success, but then after that, the next couple of showers, they were like, oh, there's more showers around the corner. And I was like, what the hell? And then I found like there were personal showers in a trailer. So it was like they had their own individual like shower stall with like soap and like cabinets where you can put your shirts and stuff. And I'm like, why are there different types of who would want the original I was livid, but I lived with it because it's Coachella, baby, and I don't care. But the shower situation was nice, you know. Well, day one it was like cold. Of course.
It was.
You have to go early in the morning, like at least leave by 7 to.
I don't know. I got cold showers. One day I had a nice hot shower. The next day I had another hot shower, but then it was another cold shower. I don't know. It's like hit or miss.
Yeah, hit or miss. Yeah, but
we took showers. Everybody keeps asking. Yes, we took showers. It may not be the best shower situation, but you definitely get to clean your body.
Yeah, and it's free. Like that's great. And then I've heard questions. I'm trying to think of questions I've heard since being back. Is like, well, did you smell? Like, did anybody smell bad? Like, you know, and I'm like, no, I didn't. Like anybody in the crowd, like, I didn't really smell anything bad.
No, not anybody that was with us. I mean, like, right. Seriously, everyone when he took a shower, everyone put on deodorant and lotion, and
everybody knows what's up. Everybody,
wipe their bits.
Personal hygiene is very important. I mean, I took the extra step for the bathrooms, which is a whole other story because it's just the porta potties. Like I brought a portable bidet, which I know everybody's laughing at. Everybody's rolling their eyes at. It? Yeah, every time, every single time.
I didn't see you ever use it.
When would you see me use it?
Well, I would think I would see you take it to the bathroom.
Yeah, it was in my bag. I had it in my bag.
You had it up your butt already?
That's not how it works. Oh my god. So,
you're bideting as you're going to the bathroom.
Oh my god. So yeah, we're gonna talk about bidets. We talk about poop all the time. Who cares? So it's like like they have collapsible water bottles that are like that silicone where it collapses. Mm-hmm. And why do you not look interested in this at all?
Listen, I went to the bathroom and I did what I had to do. Leo had a bag. It was a brown bag, and that was called our poop. And that was called our poop bag. So basically, it had our toilet paper if we needed toilet paper, and it had wipies if we needed wipies.
Oh, I didn't know where that was going. I thought
this guy's never gonna survive if there was a real world apocalypse and he didn't have his bidet, his ice mask, and his plugs.
Hey, listen, I took precautions where it counted. You know, got to make sure that I'm okay. You know, before anything else. But then you fill it up with water by the refill stations, and then you could just like squeeze and then the water shoots out of it.
People are just like, what is this guy doing? Filling up. This isn't a water bottle. This isn't a water bottle, sir.
But it looks like a water bottle. Like it looks like because you can screw the top on like it's a water bottle, so they wouldn't know any difference. So I'm editing the podcast, and I was going to put a picture of the actual portable bidet, but it looks like something else, so I'm going to refrain from doing that. This drink is great, by the way. What are we sipping, Ana? We didn't even get into that.
Sipping our Funkin' cocktails.
Funkin'
I have my nitro strawberry, and he has his passion fruit. But yeah, we took a shower, we got ready, went back to the campsite, and then I think you needed to go to the general store for something.
I always need an excuse to go to the general store.
And we also wanted to go say hi to our friends at Dunkin'. They weren't open day 0.
Oh, yeah.
So they said, hey, come back day 1 so you guys we can give you your blueberry cobbler iced coffee. So we're like, okay. So, and then also we'll get into Neutrogena sponsored us, so we also had to go talk to Neutrogena. We went to Dunkin', and they had like that spin the wheel thing. Yeah, uh-huh.
So it was kind of random. It was a little
disappointing, only because they had this big thing that said Dunkin'. They had the screen, and they had the lever to pull, but the lever doesn't work. They had a lady there that basically just push the button for you. But essentially what they were doing is if you pull this so-called lever and you get 3 things in a row from this rolling game that was playing, I don't know what you would call that. They would give you a $5 Dunkin' gift card. I mean, we're sponsored for life, so we didn't have to worry about it. Yeah. But we just thought it'd be fun to play.
We were going to bring some back for people to be like, hey, here's something cool from Coachella that we got. We would have given it to one of our listeners for sure.
I didn't win.
Yeah, neither did I. Yeah, but then we tried the blueberry cobbler. It was great. Spicy pie, that pizza place, I love you. So I didn't know this until I got back, but apparently spicy pie is only exclusive to Coachella because I was like, where's the spicy pie? Like it reminded me, the flavor of the sauce reminded me of like there's this pizza shop that I used to go to growing up that had like a sweet sauce, and I ate it for breakfast just once, just for one breakfast.
He ate it like every day. I said, Canaan, there's like 50 million other spots out here in the desert. Expand your horizon, my friend.
I had a slice of pepperoni pizza at least 3 or 4 times during my whole trip from Spicy Pie. There were other places where I got pizza, but yeah, at least from Spicy Pie. So our first sponsor of the episode is brought to you by Neutrogena.
Neutrogena, where every drop is a luxurious escape into silky smoothness. Feel the indulgence as it wraps your skin into a cocoon of hydration, leaving you with a radiant glow that whispers self-care.
So try Neutrogena today and treat yourself to the sensation of pure bliss. Was that just a random person in the ad? Who was that?
It was. She was great. I mean,
what a great cameo from a random person that we saw at the Neutrogena.
Thank you. Lathering up out in the heat of the desert. Listen,
stuff.
The sun is beating on you. So they didn't have that any other years that I've went. So I'm glad, because there were times when we would walk into, when we actually got to the festival, that I'm like, my arms are burning. Let me put some stuff on me real quick. It was great.
And that Neutrogena is like 50 SPF sunblock, and it smelled amazing.
Yeah,
like I'm not great. Even, it genuinely smelled good, and it covered me pretty well. Well, I guess that's not Neutrogena. That was just me doing a good job of applying, of lathering properly.
We got back to the campsite. I think maybe we had a few drinks. Now the crowd, I think when we were coming back to the campsite, was getting substantially bigger and bigger. And like, again, where we're at, people are like, it's just a mass of people in front of like where we're at, which is cool because you can people watch everybody. Yeah. And we're basically keeping an eye on the clock. We're like, hey, 1 o'clock, we got to go in for merch.
Right.
There's the stuff that we want to get. Because I also didn't want to have to worry about it the rest of the weekend. I just wanted to get it. And I said, hey, I'm going to come back and probably just hang out until everybody decides to go back in.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the big thing, like, all weekend was like, hey, if there's anybody that you want to see, like, feel free to go and come as you please.
For sure.
We're going to be here because I will not be going until the sun goes down because it is too damn hot.
Right. Yeah. And then when we saw people moving, we're like, oh, the gates are open, like, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, the door's just open. We're about to go through security. And then try to get some exclusive merch. We'll see. We get through.
So me, you, Matt, and Amy all went in. We're like, we're all going to get merch. So we all went in and went to the big main merch. And then this guy on the speaker basically was just like, if you're here for artist merch is in the tent over. So like, we're like still all in the main merch line, and we're like, what should we do? So it was a good idea that we split up.
Yeah.
So you and Matt left, and we're like, we're gonna go to the other tent to see what's in the artist merch. We'll just send you guys pictures.
Right. Yeah.
And again, the service there in India or Coachella isn't the greatest. It's really spotty.
Yeah.
Like in our campsite was pretty decent, but once you like get inside to the festival, like, you're not going to get that text message until you go back to your campsite, usually.
100%. Well, I think the main thing, too, is that I've noticed is that, when there's more people, it's just worse.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to send texts easily at Mojave, and then, like, once a lot more people showed up, then
everyone's just trying to use.
Everybody's using it at the same time. Yeah, so Matt and I, we went to the artists line, which we were in line for, like, probably an hour and a half. To 2 hours.
Yeah, that was great.
Pretty long.
Yeah, we split up. Me and Amy kept in the regular merch, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna get something for myself, and I'm gonna get some gifts for my family.
Yeah.
And some other friends that had mentioned they wanted stuff. So our line was going, pretty distant. I mean, we got our stuff, and then I think we went to go see where you're at.
Yeah.
And we saw where you were at, and I'm like, fuck that, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not waiting here. So Amy's like, well, let's go get something to drink. Or let's go to the bathroom and come back. And then I think Matt was like, hey, I'm thirsty. Can you get me something to drink? Yeah. So she got him a lemonade. But they wouldn't even let us go in. The security guard was like, nope, you can't come in line.
Yeah.
So basically, Amy was like, "Well, you're gonna have to come get it because I can't go over there and give it to you," sort of thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, do you want to wait?" And I'm like, "Nope, I'm going back to the camp. I'm sorry, I'm not.
See ya.
I'm not gonna."
I got my merch. And then, of course, Matt, you are a true warrior, and thank you for sticking with that through me. It was really fun. I really got to bond with Matt a lot.
That's good.
Got to talk about all kinds of stuff, and we kept trying to look at the merch, but it was too far away. And we're like, well, what is that? And then we get closer and be like, oh, that's what it is. And we talk about who knows, Kanye and all. He gave me like information about previous Coachellas that he had been to,
okay.
which is really fun. But then luckily, because we were both in the merch line for the bands, like because Ana was back at camp, you're just like, hey, like I want this. And I was like, I got you. Because Ana let me come to Coachella, I was like, let me get you something, please. So I got her that No Doubt hoodie.
Which is reselling right now on eBay for $500.
It's wild. Yeah, and we tried to go back before like the last day.
Yeah, I was going to essentially the last day. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to get some other sweaters.
Yeah.
We don't have anything. They're like, this is the only thing we have in a medium. And it was like this one sweater. I'm like, well, I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah. And we're like, do you have that hoodie? And they're like, no doubt.
Like, and they had specific, when we were actually in the campgrounds, there was specific areas where here's just No Doubt merch, here's Doja Cat merch. And we even went there because you had to pick up a record and they're like, nope, we don't got nothing.
They don't got nothing.
Okay. So I'm really glad we went the first day and got all the merch out of the way. And so we didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And I'm glad that because I was on the fence the whole time, like, should I get this No Doubt hoodie? But I did get one for myself, and I'm glad that I did. Got one for Leo as well. Yeah, and then, merch, I spent some money there. I spent a little bit of money on a bunch of stuff. I bought a Doja Cat hoodie, a Doja Cat blanket. I bought the No Doubt hoodie. I bought some other merch. With my merch alone, I spent like almost $600 on merch just for myself. But hey, Coachella, baby, you get that merch. You get that merch. And I mean, technically, no, that was just on that day. I spent additional money on the last day for merch.
Yeah.
So it was like, I probably spent like $700 total on just merch. I went crazy. I had no self-control.
You didn't.
When you have money, it's your first time at Coachella, you treat yourself.
You treat yourself, yeah.
And
So you got the merch, and then this is where all the exciting stuff starts happening.
Yes, let's go.
We're, drinking. Everyone's getting ready. These kids that are with us. Was it the first day?
Yeah,
maybe it was the second day. I don't know.
Day one, where
essentially one of the kids got picked up to go to a medical tent. We've all been there. I haven't been there.
Heat stroke, right? Or
if producer comes on, she can tell you the story. Oh, actually, would you like to come on and tell us a story about when you had to go to the medical tent for the first day? No. I mean, it happens literally. Sometimes when it's the first time and you go hard, sometimes you go hard. Listen, the group we're with, they can definitely peer pressure you. And this producer got peer pressured and she ended up passed out face first down in the porta potty station.
I like how you decided to tell the story anyway.
She didn't want to come on, but I can tell the story because I was traumatized.
What's worse is like the worst part is the porta potty, like face. You gotta do.
No, the worst part was being rushed into the tent and then having a crackhead next door.
Listen, that's what you get when you want to go all out the first 2 hours of Coachella.
I definitely took a more laid back approach. I was like the first time I was like, I want to remember this. You know what I mean? So like I took it safe. I played safe. I did drink some alcohol at some times, but not to the point where anybody would know that I was drinking alcohol. Because do you remember me drinking alcohol at any point?
No, not really.
Not one bit. Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember me drinking alcohol at any point?
Every day. every hour. You had something in your hands.
Margaritas. There was micheladas. We had like tajin, chamoy, and stuff on the rim. Like, he was with a bunch of Mexicans. He was the only person of white color.
What a way to say that.
I know.
What a very interesting way to say that.
That was with us. This bitch is just like, he's on Duolingo. He's like, ooh, I should probably maybe learn some things today.
No, I didn't want to lose my streak. The thing I was most afraid of was losing my streak this whole time because I'm trying to learn French. And, I'm like 146 days in. and I was worried that I wouldn't have reception. So every morning I would like make sure that I got that out of the way. But yeah,
He's like,
I'm
what?
very white. You can't
Google
miss that.
Translate. What does peso pluma mean?
Who is Pluma? And what? Oh my God.
And then I don't remember I think we went to Heineken tent first. I could be wrong.
Yeah, we saw John Baptiste. No, what's his name? No, John Sinclair. Bob
Sinclair. I was like,
the alcohol is really kicking in right now.
Now, Bob Sinclair.
Bob Sinclair.
So essentially, we might be on a Heineken commercial. We had somebody take our pictures.
That's true.
Me and Canaan were on this big swing.
Yeah, it was a 2-person swing. It was really fun. We got footage there. Maybe we'll intercut it here.
I love Heineken because their beer is silky smooth and it runs down just good. Ana, tell us more about Heineken.
It just feels also good when it hits my lips.
And if you're watching this and getting motion sickness, I'm sorry, Amy. That's just how it is.
And
But
Leo.
it was good. It was
was
exciting.
sick.
Leo was already lit. I love Leo at day one of Coachella.
Lit Leo.
You are my favorite.
Yeah.
So at this time, I'm already a few drinks in.
I'm drinking water responsibly. I'm the.
I don't know if at this point shrooms were had. I think so.
Yeah. Bob Sinclair was that set was really awesome.
Dude, that
it was really
set was
fun.
great. Everybody was just basically
The
peeking at
Heineken
this
house.
point. Leo, I have so many clips of Leo from this. I was showing my sister. It was great. Amy and Matt were freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, that was probably.
Oh, we did have mushrooms. I remember now. Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely did.
And my night substantially just kept getting better.
Oh my God.
Bob Sinclair, we saw the first night. We saw Peso Pluma the first night.
Peso Pluma. Oh my God. I
good.
regret leaving early. Peso Pluma.
You went to go see what?
Hatsune Miku. Well, Peso Pluma, I loved like the his performance. It was so good. Like I had never heard of his music ever. Mm-hmm. And just being like taken away by the live band, taken away by his artistic style, and just like I just vibed a lot. I really digged it. And it was like 9:30. Like I had heard a few songs, and I like there's still one that I listen to today, like to this day, because it's like I try to listen to more of his music. But 9:30, I was like, oh, I gotta go. There's someone I want to see. It's Hatsune Miku, and they're like, oh, well, have fun. And so
You went. I mean, you thought it was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
If I would have went and I saw this show, I would have punched Canaan in his jujum.
But then,
well, I mean, I really didn't know the artist, so I didn't have an interest. So I mean,
It's
I was
okay.
like, I'm gonna stay for this.
Yeah.
And we stayed. And then after we saw that, I think maybe you came to meet us afterward. I don't know. We went back to the bar and
I met y'all at
Justice. Yeah, which was great. Another great set.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like again, we were just peaking the whole time. Leo was out of his mind. Everything was just that whole night was just great. It was just full of laughter, full of fun. After Justice, we catch maybe Lana in the very beginning, her riding it on the bike.
Yeah. The
And
best
then
part.
we went to the Yuma tent to watch
Yes.
like a DJ set.
And the funny thing was, my shoes, I'm already having blisters on the ankles of my, on my ankles because of these cheap Target shoes these loafers that I decided to wear. So I'm like, I'm
He's
wanting
in
to.
pain. I was like, Canaan, just take your shoes off. Like, we're in grass. You're going to be fine. Just take them off,
I
dude.
took them off and we were walking.
And you're like, my feet still hurt.
They were sore, and then we just like the line for the Yuma tent was
It was
this
like Disney. It was like never ending. Like you were going on a ride and it would just kept. But the thing is, it went by so fast. Like you were
Yeah.
never just standing there. Like it was like continuously going.
Yeah, and it was like they wanted to keep us surprised. They're like, "Do you know anything about the Yuma tent?" I'm like, "I have no clue what's about to happen," and that surprise, and oh my god, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Thumping music, the lights were incredible. It was like this long, narrow, and wood. Yeah, did I say wooden floors?
Yeah.
Just like this long, narrow Looked like maybe a triangular type of building, but it wasn't. It's just the lights.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. We were there for a little bit, and I think after that, we finally were just like, it was pretty late already.
Yeah. It was like, it was pretty late. It was like 11:30.
Maybe, yeah, getting close to midnight. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, I think it's... Oh, yeah, and I think when we got back to the campsite, everybody was ready to crash out. We were the last ones to come back to the campsite. All the youngins had partied the first day because they went out to the silent disco, so they were out all night. So the first night when we came back, we were going to do things, and I thought everyone was still going to be awake, and everyone was crashed out.
Yeah, everybody was gone.
Only one person, I think our friend Polo, was on the couch, like basically just watching. And I think a few people stayed up with him to just chat. But everybody else, I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to put my pajamas on and go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put on my sleep mask. I put in my earplugs, and I fell right sound asleep.
Hello people, how are you guys doing? Coachella 2024. My name is Polo Knoxville. Welcome to Coachella. Fuck off. Bye.
Day 2, I immediately walked to the general store and I bought Band-Aids. And boy, oh boy, did I buy Band-Aids. I bought like 2 packs and I still have leftover Band-Aids.
I was basically like, stop wearing your shoes. Just go barefoot.
Yeah.
It's just more pain.
Yeah.
This guy ended up with like no Band-Aids on his feet. And then like when we left, I think I had looked at your foot in the morning. This guy's foot's all covered in Band-Aids.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Coachella 101, you have to have comfortable shoes.
Yes,
I've done that
absolutely.
before. Like,
Bring 2 pairs of comfortable shoes.
I bought 3 pairs of shoes. I bought my sandals that were busted sandals that I threw away that were there, but I'm like, I knew it. I'm going to take them on the trip. They're my water sandals, and they're just sandals to be around. I brought a pair of shoes just to wear when we're just at our camp, and then I brought a pair of comfortable sneakers to wear when I'm inside Coachella.
Yep. Now, to be clear, I would have had 2 pairs of shoes, but again, Adidas, I don't know if we'll ever sponsor you because that was pretty rough. Those shoes that I was going to bring and wear, they were not comfortable at all.
Oh my God, Marisol hooked us up with the best chilaquiles I've ever had in my life.
Oh.
Marisol, thank you so much. That green chili sauce was the best. I think your mama made the red sauce that we had throughout the camp. Delicious. I'm just gonna shout out everybody who made us food that whole week.
Yeah, shout out to Leo for making like breakfast every day. I had the what was it? The potato. Well, there's the
You had chorizo papas with egg.
Yeah,
that was they had the tacos that morning. We had those chilaquiles another morning. They basically had the marinated chicken one night for dinner. We had burgers for dinner. There was sausages for dinner one night. Yeah, they pretty much made sure we ate really well the whole trip.
Oh, we ate pretty great, and it was worth like how much we all pitched in individually for everything. It was
snacks, alcohol, food.
They had everything. Well, this time, I mean, we have our second sponsor of the day, or for the pod, Delight Creamer.
Delight Creamer.
Get yours today at the end of the rainbow.
This is our new sponsor. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Three flavors. We have French vanilla, caramel macchiato, and we also have sweet and creamy. Ooh. Caramel is my favorite.
This guy doesn't drink coffee, so.
You know what? I know. I actually don't drink a lot of coffee, and I had the caramel macchiato today. It was really good. This is in stores. Yeah, it's really cool. And Sippin.
What's Sippin Truth?
Which one would you like?
I want him to try. Honestly, the caramel macchiato one sounds good.
All right, so day 2, Ana. Do you remember day 2 at all?
I do.
It's all a blur. I have on my phone. I have the lineup of like what I saw, of like what we actually saw.
Yeah, I don't remember honestly too much of what I saw. The highlight of my day 2 is no doubt 100%.
Yeah, leading up to that, like it wasn't
because there was people that we wanted to see T-Pain, and the Heineken tent was extremely packed.
Too packed.
We couldn't get in. The line was ridiculous. I think we ended up seeing
Vampire Weekend.
No, it was Vampire Weekend.
We saw Vampire Weekend, and
which
that
randomly brought out Paris Hilton to play cornhole.
And Abraham Lincoln.
That-
Nobody remembers President Abraham Lincoln anymore. And then we went over to Sublime.
We saw Sublime for a minute.
We're about to go see Sublime right now. We're gonna have another alcoholic beverage, maybe smoke a little bit, take some shrooms. Leo's gonna pop some acid and some Molly.
I got an iced coffee on my way.
He likes to foam on his lips, if you get my drift.
What is happening over here?
Dude, we gotta feel confident.
Bitch.
Then I think that's when we started going in and out of like different tents. Like there
Yeah.
was White Claw that was there, so we definitely went to the White Claw tent, which was great. I wish I remember the guy that helped us. He was great.
Art comes in many forms. Sometimes it's this wall. Sometimes it's a can of White Claw.
So we had a couple White Claw drinks. We went to the
Aperol?
Aperol Spritzer place.
That
and we'll
place
cut
was
to
cool.
a footage of what me and Canaan did for the pod there.
Yeah, we did it. We did a little thing.
Yes.
Alright guys, we just finished April Spritz. It's been a little bit of a blur of a day because we've been sipping on these, you know, the Sippin Truth. No doubt, we're about to have the best time of our fucking life coming up next.
And at that point, that's when I took an edible. Right before No Doubt.
We're about to watch No Doubt. No doubt about it.
Like this was Anna's like one of the main reasons why she was going to Coachella this year was to like see them after 9 years.
After 9 years.
9 years of not performing together to like see them live. Well,
Yes.
even when they were together, like, have you seen them live?
I've seen them live. Me and my
Okay,
sisters
okay.
had went to one of their shows way back in the day when we were in
Oh,
Arizona. So I was excited.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure, like, I filmed everything so that Anna could just experience it and you know like enjoy the concert and Polo.
Yeah, so essentially
Yeah,
it was
we'll
me,
get into it.
Canaan.
Yeah.
It was Leo. It was Polo and his wife, and then it was Wendy. And I'm so sorry that I forgot your name, but he was with us as well. So there was a group of us.
Yeah.
We all had took edibles, and we all decided to go back in together to watch No Doubt and get a pretty decent spot. So I think as we're walking in, everyone's edibles are kind of like starting to hit.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't think mine did yet.
I loaded up for sure. Like I got some from Matt and I got some from Rojo, yeah.
So we go, No Doubt starting. First, this was a great show. It was such a good show.
It was awesome.
And I think as the show progressively went on, people behind us really got messed up and they decided to go back to the camp, which is fine. So it was really just me, Kane, and Leo, and Polo. And I don't know. It was the best time of my life. I could not stop laughing.
Yeah.
I know you guys won't think it's funny, but listen, I was peaking on being high.
Right.
And you can see photos of Leo being high. Polo, I think, was. But every time No Doubt finished playing a song, Polo basically would be like, oh, fucking awesome, dude.
That was awesome, man. Yeah.
And I would lose it. I could not stop laughing.
So then by the end of their set, you know, their final song, Polo, you know, they're doing their
Motherfucking awesome.
But yeah, it was such a good show.
Yeah.
I was so excited that I got to see. I'm so happy they performed. I hope they go on like some sort of tour after this. It was great.
And what was wild was I wouldn't consider myself like someone who knows a lot of No Doubt's music, but when they were playing it, I'm like, oh yeah, like I know this song. Like I'm just a dum dum. But yeah, Gwen Stefani did a great job. Like getting the crowds and
being 54 and jumping around doing exactly what she did when she was younger and still having that stamina and vocal ability. It was great.
And I loved that they showed like a lot of flashback videos of them like when they were younger, like just starting out, you know, those flashback videos.
Either way, it was great. And then I just remember leaving to go back to our campsite because I think you were then finished and I was going to come back with Leo to watch Damdala later on.
Right, yeah.
And I just remember walking back, and I'm like, I don't know how to walk right now. Like, I feel like I'm going to fall. Like, it hit me hard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just need to get back to camp, and I need to just chill.
I'm surprised that you, like, went back out. It was like 11:30.
I had to, because I needed to get it out of my system.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I was just like, okay, I have to keep moving. I have to keep doing stuff.
Yeah.
But I got back to the campsite, and then our friend Rojo, who is freaking crazy,
he
ends up coming back, and he's on Everything Under the Moon.
He's like laughing.
And he sits right next to me, and everything that's going on, he's laughing, which makes me laugh. And then Leo's laughing. It was just nonstop. My tummy hurt so much because I could not stop laughing.
Oh my God.
And Canaan's just sitting there with his camera, like.
You got me good, bro. You got me good, bro. Oh my God, bro.
But yeah, I think you said, I asked if you wanted to come maybe, and you're just like, no, I think I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, I have a surprise for you. I was not done for the day. I ended up talking to Matt, and then I ended up leaving, and I went back to the Yuma tent.
Oh, you did?
I did, and I was out probably till like 1.
You were in bed before I got home.
Exactly. so while you went and had that concert experience, I within that time talked to Matt, and then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna walk around, and then Matt's like, go that way. So I just went back to the Yuma tent for like maybe half an hour, and I was just like, dude, I was vibing out, man. I was just like, because the mushrooms were still like, there's like, it wasn't, I didn't have as much, but I was just like vibing the music, just my eyes closed, and that bass just like, and then I went back, and I'm like, oh, Anna's still out. So then by the time that you got back, just like, oh, nothing happened. It was like my little own side story.
And cut to this, I think this, it must have been the second night. It is fucking freezing cold.
Oh my God.
It literally changed from, okay, it's like 90 degrees out to like now it's under 50 degrees and it's windy as hell.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to go do something else. So when Leo was like, you want to go to Don Dala? I'm like, let's go. It was great.
And the show was at like 11:55.
Yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
Natalie Furtado came out, which is great. She sang for a few songs, but we were out there. Yeah, I don't know when I got back, maybe close to 2:00.
Yeah.
And it was freezing. I think I opened the tent, and you're like, oh, you're back. And I was just like, good night. And I literally had to put the blanket over my body because. Also, for our tent, for every tent, there's a cover that goes over it, so it blocks the sun from coming in on the sides or like wind and whatnot. But we didn't use it for that. We used it essentially so we had more shade, so that when the sun was coming up in the morning, we blocked it, so when we were sitting, it didn't hit us. And then throughout the day, we would move it so that we were always under shade. So we didn't have it covering the tent. So this wind is just blowing in. So I literally was in order to be warm, I had to put all my blankets over my head and literally just hotbox myself.
You just see like a blob over on a side. And I'm sleeping with just like one blanket.
I know, you're like, oh, this is great. I'm like, I'm for a reason. I have a sweater on. I have my sweats on because I would change into my pajamas. And I'm like, I'm so cold. I'm not going to make it through the night. I'm just like, I'm going to literally freeze here, or I'm going to have to go sleep in my car. I don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah. You were really contemplating that too. I remember.
I was freezing. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But I don't know what ended up happening. I woke up and the next thing I knew it was morning. So
yeah, and I was like, because I purchased that Doja Cat blanket, I'm like, well, you could always use like this Doja Cat blanket just in case, but you didn't need it. You were fine.
No, I was just like, we'll make it through. We did.
But then on day 3, we made sure to put the actual.
tarp.
I
said we're putting the tarp back on because I don't want this wind up in my face again.
Yeah, we're putting the tarp on the tent. It's too cold.
But. Yeah, I mean, everybody got home safe, and then we all went to bed, and then guess what? We got up, and I said, that's it. This is our last day. This is day 3.
We're here to fuck shit up. That's what we do best.
We could talk about the sets in depth about like who we saw, but it's just like You get a general idea.
Yeah.
You can look up the people.
I mean, I'll be honest, this year wasn't the greatest for a lineup.
Yeah.
Although there was, I had more fun just going to bands for other people. There wasn't really anybody of interest I wanted to see except No Doubt.
Right, yeah.
So, like, for the ones that we did, it was all because somebody else wanted to see them, which I was fine with.
Yeah.
But yeah, day 3 came and I'm like, okay, well, this is it. We're going to go hard this day.
I got my morning pizza, as I usually did.
I had my morning alcoholic beverage. But yeah, I think we got hooked up with breakfast again in the morning.
Yeah.
I feel like day 3 went by the fastest.
Absolutely.
Like time just flew by for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And usually on day 3 for us, it's just like, okay, well, this is the day we go hard. So I was drinking really early. I was taking shots.
And I was antsy. I wanted to go and do things, but it was still early in the morning.
Yeah, I think you left. I think you said I want to go see this person at 3, and I said you have fun. I'm gonna be here.
Which Flow I went to go see. They were incredible. I was telling Anna after the fact, No Doubt I would say was the top, but then Flow was pretty close. Every song was a banger. I can't stress this enough. If you haven't listened to Flow, FLO, check them out. They're British. The 3 British ladies. They sound like Destiny's Child, but in today's time, very 90s, early 2000s R&B. Mm-hmm. And Take It Back Sunday, I didn't stay for the whole set just because I didn't really know who they were or didn't listen to all the music.
We went for the whole one because Amy wanted to see them, and they were good. They were fine. I forget. Carin Leon we went to go see, which is a Mexican band, which was great. It was cool because a couple of our friends, I don't know how they got it. I think, ended up meeting them because we were all supposed to go meet them next. We got as close as we could. They ended up getting in VIP.
Right, yeah.
And they're like, well, come to VIP. And you're like, no.
No, because I was I'm kind of tired. And because I had thought that you were also in VIP because they were saying they all got in VIP. And I was like, I don't really I'm just kind of tired, so I went back to the camp and I just sat there in the seating, where the lounge area was. How was that set?
It was great. I mean, it was cool because they all got VIP and they were actually on their story too, Carin Leon's story. Yeah, so they sent me a video of that. But Madi wanted me to let everybody know that she was wasted and she doesn't remember being in VIP or seeing the show. So shout out Madi. But because I'm telling you, before we even went in, everyone would always come to our tent. Our tent was always up in the front. Also, there was always some sort of cooking going on. So people would be wanting to come and get our food or, what are you cooking? And I didn't know until this time that you can't sell food at your campsite. It is against the rules.
Ooh,
so
did not know that.
We potentially may have some undercover stuff that we will be doing in the upcoming years so that we could get some money off of it.
Yeah. But the blow-up doll, I think, was also
that was a hit as well.
An eye catcher for sure. Very, very random blow-up doll that one of the Talumis brought. Did Marco bring it?
I don't know who brought it. No, well, somebody brought it. Somebody from the group.
It was there.
But yeah, you had left, and that's basically when everybody started taking shots. Everybody was in the main
Missed
area.
Out the shots. Missed out the group photo. I did everything wrong.
They were breaking tables. This is when all the chaos happens right before.
Oh my God.
Thankfully, the guy that was in the medical tent for the last 2 days didn't have to go this time, so he hydrated well enough.
Talumis, if we go next year all together, I'm going hard. Hold me to that. We'll cut to this shot right now, a year from now. All right? I'm going to go hard. I'm going to take all the shots with you guys. I'm going to take all the drugs. I'm going to get so fucked up. Anyway.
But yeah, they saw that set. I don't know what we did afterwards.
It was so wild. So I was trying to convene with Ana because Ana wanted to try to get merch for Lissa, try to get some Coachella merch and stuff. And so I was by the Ferris wheel, and you're like, "Oh, I'm at the White Claw."
Oh, okay.
I'm at White Claw. So I was like, "Okay." And I walked over to White Claw, and she's like, "Oh, I'm at by the main stage, I think." And then I got the main stage, and I was walking to and fro, and we finally met up, and then we waited in the merch line.
Yeah, I wanted to get one other soda before I left. And keep in mind too, none of this stuff is really that close. I mean, it's a pretty huge place. You get in and the stages aren't close. If you sometimes had to plan it out if you wanted to see one and then walk all the way over to the other. Yeah. So that's why Katie was saying sometimes it's pick and choose. Do you want to watch anything or do you want to just be there for the whole experience for another? And yeah, like I said, this year I really didn't care, so I was just like, I'll go wherever anybody else goes. I'm just here for the experience. I got to see who I needed to see, so I was good. But yeah, you came to merch, you met me there, so I can get my stuff. I got it, and then we went to Monty's. Yeah, I really wanted Monty's. I love Monty's.
Monty's is so good.
I don't know if they're anywhere else, but in LA they definitely have them. It's a vegan burger spot. Oh
yeah,
I got a double with some French fry and tots, and we sat there by the Ferris wheel and we ate.
I had the vegan chicken fingers. They were so good. I'll eat anything from Monty's.
Delicious.
The tots are like my favorite version of tots ever.
It was so good.
They do such a good job.
And I think we parted ways again there. You had to go get your record, and we're gonna go check on something for me. And I think
the No Doubt. See if they had the No Doubt hoodie.
And then I think I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go back to camp. Oh, we saw J Balvin.
J Balvin, that's right.
Which was cool. He brought out Will Smith.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole alien shtick.
Yeah.
But then I got this 3X. Coachella hoodie because that's all they had. Yeah, it fit me perfectly. It was just what I wanted because I wanted something that was like warm because it was hella cold that night. It was the coldest day of all the days.
Yeah,
like in the 70s. So I got a 3X hoodie and I wanted it to be kind of cool.
You got it, and I think we all met again. So we met with Matt and Amy, and there's 5 different like speakeasies that are in Coachella. Some of them you have to be VIP for, some of them you have to have a password for, and some of them you could just walk in if you know where it's at.
Right.
So one of them we did find, and we were able to go in. It was cool. It was a cool little spot that it's just like 1 minute you're out in the area where everything's at, the next minute you're like in this cool little spot. And it was like a cool little bar, but then you actually get to go into another spot. And it was just like this cool little...
A bar within a bar.
It was really cool. And we had a couple of drinks there. Mm. And then I don't... Yeah. Everything was a little bit of a blur. Like I don't...
Yeah. That night was definitely blurrish.
Yeah. We saw J Balvin. We saw Will Smith. I think me and Leo left to go watch somebody.
Yes. And then I went
DJ
with...
Snake.
Right. And then I went with Matt and Amy to see... Takashari Goku, I think that's
something
how the name
like that.
is.
We said, okay, we're gonna split up. I love DJ Snake. I wanted to go watch DJ Snake.
Yeah.
I went with Leo and I said, hey, cool. Well, then I'll meet back and we're gonna watch Doja because I kind of wanted to watch Doja. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Leo didn't want to watch it after DJ Snake, so he's like, well, I'm gonna go here.
Yeah.
I was parched. I'm like, well, I'm gonna get a lemonade and then I'm gonna go find these guys and watch Doja Cat.
Yeah.
I didn't find anybody, but I saw Doja by myself, and actually. I wasn't a Doja fan when I went to go see Doja. I know some of her songs, but I will say, after what I saw, I am now a Doja fan. Listen, if you live stream and you saw what I saw that was happening in the mud, let's just see, I couldn't stop talking about it for a good minute.
Neither could I.
My jaw was like the whole time.
Yeah.
It was great. She's such a good performer.
So Matt and Amy, I was with them. We went over to Doja. Like it just started. And we were by the middle section where she came out a little bit.
Yeah.
And like I was wanting to meet up with you.
Yeah.
And you had texted me a photo, but it hadn't loaded yet. I'm like, hopefully on the way I'll
service.
See it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I told Matt and Amy, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go try to find Ana. And they're like, good luck.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I did not find Ana the whole time. I was looking. I walked so many places during this set. Like, at one point I was like near the barricade near the front, not VIP section, but like where the front was. And I was looking around. You said like 27, whatever
S7 Live, whatever.
S7, whatever. I was looking around, couldn't find you, and but the set was great. I wish she would have done Kiss Me More. It's my favorite song from her. But either way, yeah, that set was hot and ready like a hot pocket.
And then I'm like, damn, I should have freaking got Doja freaking merchandise. Oh,
I got it.
I know
for
you
next
can
time. Still get it on the Coachella website.
No, I'm good, honestly. But it was great. It was a great performance. And then I think...
should we upload a clip of the performance, or do you think
that would be great?
Do you think it's too hot for them to see?
Listen.
And then,
I hope your children were watching that video, guys. Let
I'm
me tell
sweating
you.
again, and I'm not. Wow.
It's
Yeah.
96 degrees back in the Coachella desert. Whew. Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, I think after that, like, I walked back to the campsite, and I think, yeah, I met you guys all back at the campsite.
Yeah.
And that was it. No, yeah, she actually closed out Coachella. I forgot. So, like, all the fireworks came. Yeah, and that was it. And we closed out the night. I came back. I think Matt and Amy came back a little bit after, and then I think you were one of the later ones to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was kind of near the front, and there was that, is she going to, like, do an encore song?
Gotcha.
Because there was kind of a, but she was all muddy. It wouldn't make sense to, have to do that.
And it's just like, so, like, realistically, like, what time do we have to wake up tomorrow so that, we can go back home? I'm like, 7 o'clock.
Right, yeah.
He's like, he's like, what do we have to do? I'm like, we got to clean up everything now.
Yeah,
Listen,
I did not want to leave. I just wanted to stay and, like, just set up camp permanently forever.
Yeah.
Still there.
But, yeah, our time ended. We got up. I don't remember what time we got up, but then it was just like, all right, well, we got to start cleaning everything up. I mean, just as much as it is a pain to put everything up, it's just a pain to put everything together.
Back.
And let me just say one thing for anybody who produces tents. Get things that can fit those tents after you put them up. There's no way.
It makes no sense. Go on,
no, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, well, Canaan, you're going to have to, he's like, what? I was like, Canaan, that doesn't fit. Make it fit in there.
It looked like a blunt. It looked like a blunt with a little thing at the end.
Like, they give you this little bag that it's all packaged perfectly, and you get your tent out, but then you have to put it back all in. That doesn't fit.
Right.
We don't know how to fold the tent back in there.
Hell no. Yeah, and then, like, I was tasked with your tiny camo tent that you originally, and this thing just would not fit in. I re-rolled it like 5 times. Oh my God.
It was a disaster.
You know what they need to do? Like, vacuum sealed bags, just put your tent material in, like, this vacuum bag and then
something.
Suck it.
It was a pain in the butt. And remember, everything had to be in a bag.
Yeah.
So, like, Canaan had his chair. I'm like, Canaan, your bag is over there. He's like, bag for the chair. You're just mad at me.
I was frustrated. And then at some point, like we're putting the canopy back, we're folding it back in, and then Ana, like, tosses the
I'm like, here you go, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, you haven't camped before. And make sure you enjoy every experience of this.
She tosses the canopy, like, bag thing that it has to go into, and it has to, like, fit perfectly. And I'm trying to get it on, and I'm like, and you're like, don't be a baby. And I'm like, internally, like, well, then you put this fucking thing on. And, like, we're both frustrated at this point, and I know Ana doesn't want to have to deal with it, so I'm like, I'll do it, whatever. And we eventually got it on the right way. And
listen, at the same time, I'm like, listen, I have like a 2.5 hour drive that I need to go to.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that 2 hour drive, like, it kept going higher and higher.
Oh my God.
Like, it's fucking traffic.
What time did we actually leave, though? We left the lake.
I think we finally left at like 9.
Yeah.
We got everything situated, made sure everybody on the other camp was good. We said our goodbyes to everybody, and we hit the road. And yeah, I mean, at first it was like 2 hours, then all of a sudden it was like 2 hours 17 minutes, then it was like 2 hours 34 minutes. I'm like, at this point, you just want to be home,
right?
Like, I want to be home, I want to take a shower, I want to unpack and whatever. I want to take a nap.
Yeah.
I just want to get there. I was like, maybe I should stop for coffee, but I'm like, no, if I stop for coffee, then my time's going to go higher. I just want to get home. Yeah. And then at the same time, I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Canaan, I can't stay up.
And it was hard because, like, I was so tired. I didn't want to really, like, have conversation as, like, the first time, because it's like all that excitement.
Yeah.
But this, it's like, so, like, the whole time, I don't think we talked, like, too much. It was just like,
it was like, Canaan, I'm tired.
I'm so sorry. I tried to keep convo, but it's just hard, you know, when you're.
No, it was like, I was just like.
And I felt bad because you're driving stick.
Rolling the windows up, putting the windows down, putting it up and down, like, in the air. I'm like, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Oh my God.
Because it's not really far. It's literally, it took us 2 hours to get there, but it took us almost like 3 to get back.
Yeah, it was, and I feel bad for the people who have to drive longer than that, but it's still for us, it was like, oh my God, yeah, it just was unbearable. You see like, we were originally gonna get there at like 12, like noonish, and then it was like I think we got there around like 12:47 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
pretty-
fine. I mean, and then it was just like, okay, peace. See you later.
Yeah.
Like,
See you, dude.
Yeah. It's great. We'll talk about this another time. Like, I
Yeah.
need to just go and like literally start unpacking, take a shower, and like
Yeah.
decompress. And then finally, I think.
I still
Yeah.
think I'm decompressing right now.
Yeah,
you know?
literally the last few days, I'm just like, oh God, my body, I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I literally came home after I took a shower and like started washing, and I like crashed out.
Yeah. Lucky. Yeah, for me, I was just, you know, I because I have a hard time taking naps in the middle of the day. Like it's hard for me. My brain just doesn't allow me to do it.
No.
But like there was a point where, you know, I'm very like I like to reflect sometimes on my journeys and
Yeah.
stuff. And I know for me, you know, I just loved it so much, and I'm not gonna get tearful right now, but I loved it so much that it just like something clicked in my brain when I was out there, and I like, you know, there's just this version of myself that I want to be, and it's whatever that was, and so like Coachella unlocked that for me, and I'm very grateful. And the thing that I enjoyed the most, you know, of course, besides the music, was the people.
Yeah.
The people I was with, but also the people that were around me. Seeing all the friends excited and joining together and embrace. Like I saw a lot of friends like seeing each other and being. I'm like, this is just like such a beautiful community of people, and you know, we're all, you know, hanging out at different stages and vibing together and.
Yeah.
Taking who knows what kind of drugs.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Not the drugs, but like the
Yeah.
shared experience.
That's what you go for, I think, and I think that's why we've gone so many years. It's not really about, yes, and sometimes it's about like being able to see really cool performers, but
Yeah.
like a lot of these people that I go and hang out with, I haven't seen for like maybe a year or a couple months. So this
Yeah.
is the time to like catch up and then just, you know, have these good times where we can drink, be ridiculous, and be like in this like close knit environment. And again, a lot of the times we weren't really hanging out with each other all that much, but like the times that we did, it was like really fun.
Yeah.
And then I remember at one point you were just like, what do we do with our stuff in the tents? Like, is somebody going to come? I'm like, no, no one's going to come get, but I could get that as somebody who's there for the first time. Like, someone's
Yeah.
going to steal our shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like, it's not really all, I mean, which is great. I mean, not to say that it hasn't happened and people don't do
Yeah.
those things, but everyone's there just to have a good time and chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we
And
did.
now, as people at work have said, as Tyler has infamously said, Coachella Canaan, like I bring this, I have this vibe now. I mean, I have this necklace now. I have these shirts now. I'm just going for like, I don't know. I mean, at some point I know myself, like styles change, I change, everybody changes, but I hope that like, I don't know, I carry it with me wherever I go. Coachella, like literally it's in my DNA forever, like on a microscopic level, that dust is still in me.
Oh yeah, your boogers get black. Just
It's
a heads
that
up.
dust in me, like that
Yeah,
dog
well,
in me.
I'm glad you got to embark on this journey.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm like, I know it was just like this would be a fun, but for me, like looking back on, I'm like, this is like, I'm just so grateful. Yeah.
Well, Coachella 2025. I guess we're gonna mark it in the books, so we're gonna have to do this.
And we'll have to try to live stream, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out.
Something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
The Tulum group, I hope we didn't disappoint.
Yeah, well, I definitely felt like I disappointed them a little bit.
I
I
did
wasn't there
disappoint.
as much because I'm an introvert, and when I'm not partying or you know a performer, I'm like I need to energize by being alone. So, I mean, also a huge shout out and thank you to Matt and Amy for like you know just being there to conversate with, who like you know were chill people as well. Leo, I know that you were you know the kind of the head honcho of this whole thing. Thank you for coordinating everything.
Papa Leo.
Thank you for making the food and making sure that everybody was okay. Hopefully next year delegation can happen. That'd be great. But I'm grateful for the Tulum people as well. Thank you for accepting me in your open arms, despite me talking about you without having met you yet.
Yeah, and Marco, when the time is right, we'll get you on the pod so that we can have you tell your side of the story, okay?
I'm the good guy in this story. Like,
Bullshit, bro.
I saved my
Bullshit.
Yeah, just a little preamble.
Yeah, one thing at a
Marco
time.
at one point he's like, I was sitting on an inflatable couch and he comes over to me. He's like, dude, let me just tell you my story. And then he was like all serious about it. And I'm like, okay. He's like,
Yeah.
what do people really think about me? You know, what are they really saying? I'm like, oh, well, you know, we'll get you on. We'll get you on, Marco. Well, everybody, it's pretty late here. We've been recording for a little bit. I don't know if we'll even need to trim anything, honestly. It might just be a long episode.
We'll see. Well, there's probably some things we could trim.
Absolutely. But thank you all for listening and viewing, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes. Peace.
Bye.